Hey, what's up guys? This is the Imperial Assault Carriers expansion pack unboxing from Armada Wave 3, and I'm so happy to be having these guys finally in hand right now. I'm so excited to crack these things open, which I'm cracking them open right now, and to get started putting new fleets together. The Imperial Assault Carrier is otherwise known as the Gozanti, which you may have heard it called that before, and this is a new flotilla. The Flotilla is the newest type of ship for the game. It's still a small base, but it has some extra stuff assigned to it. And if you want to read about flotillas, it's here in the rules insert. Basically, they can't bump other ships. They will otherwise take damage. They also have the fleet support upgrade icon. And you will find that sometimes they roll no dice for doing damage. They don't do damage. Well, this one can do a little bit of damage. So we have a new type of base here, right? This comes with the Gozanti, or the Imperial Assault Carriers. And let's take a look at these models. We do have a little bit of paint on them. The engines here are painted. But you can't really see much other paint on there. Granted, it's a ship that's mostly gray anyway, but they definitely put a wash on here. And much like the other flotilla that came out, it looks like that's pretty much all they did. A wash and then just a little dab of blue. So that's interesting. Let's put them on here and see how well they go on. They go on pretty standard. And there it is. There they are. They're a little tiny. Little Gozantis. Gonzos, right? Alright, let's see what else we get in here. We've also got our plastic stuff for our commands and our shields and our speed dial to put all that stuff together. And then we're going to do stuff with... Alright, let's look at our cardboard first. Alright, so one of the things you'll notice is this guy comes with the scatter upgrade, or the scatter defense icon, which is kind of cool. Let's also look at what we get over here. We've got our cardboard. Look at the arc on this guy, right? Look at the arc. Look at that big open butt. So he's really weak in the back, right? And tiny side arcs, but big front arc too. But his rear arc is by far the biggest arc, and he's got nothing there. Look at that, nothing, no dice. Look at that, nothing, no dice. Oh man, look at this poor little guy, no dice. Okay, here's our cards. Here's our cards. So we're at 23 and 28 points. We're going to look at our 23 point first. So our Gozanti class cruisers. Alright, we've got 3 hull. Not very good. We've got a black anti-squadron die. That's not very good either. We got 1 command, 2 squadron, 2 engineering. We do have the scatter and evade. So that kind of scatter is really going to help somebody stay alive, because he's only got 1 shield around the sides and only 3 hulls. So this guy could get one-shotted by almost any ship. However, having the scatter is really going to help them stay alive, at least for a turn or 2. So hopefully that will work for them. You do have blue dice on the front and the sides, and nothing in the back on this guy, so hardly any weapons. And they're mostly a support ship, so they're not going to have it. You've got the new fleet support, right? So the new fleet support icon allows you to put some really cool stuff on there, and we're going to look at some of the things that come with this expansion pack that are of the category of fleet support. Let's look at the Gozanti class assault carriers. Coming in at 28 points, still real cheap, right? And this is a great way to put a lot of activations, especially if you've got an Imperial Star Destroyer or 2 in your list and you want to have more than only 3 activations. This is a great way to do that through these Gozantis. So now we've upgraded to blue for our anti-squadron, so now we are back up to standard anti-squadron dice. We have a red die in the front as well, so that's pretty cool. So it's a lot, got a lot longer range for both squadron and ships. Still nothing in the back. Still the same upgrades, just average maneuverability, but they can go up to speed 3, so that's good. That gives them some flexibility. Let's take a look at what they come with, right? Alright, we come with Taggi. Now, I've heard some people call him Tag before, but I call him Taggi. If you have a preference, I'd love to hear about it. At only 25 points, he comes in as a fairly cheap commander. At the start of the 3rd round and the 5th round, each friendly ship may recover one of its discarded defense tokens. So this is somebody who's going to be great specifically for a ship that has, or a fleet that has a lot of Gozantis in there, or maybe an ISD, and you're playing, you're playing with some titles that cause you to get rid of defense tokens or whatever. It's just, this is new and this is pretty nice. I like it. It's a good option. Still, it's like I've said before, it's just hard to not fly Vader though. It kind of is. All right. We've got Agent Kallus at speed, or at cost 3. While attacking a unique squadron, add 1 die of any color to your attack pool. I love this guy. I love him. It's fantastic. Awesome. Okay, we got titles. Vector. No, not the Vector from Despicable Me. Or maybe he's the one who's flying it. All right, he only costs 2 points for this title. Anti-squadron, or rather squadron. The speed of each squadron without heavy you activate is increased by 1, up to a maximum of 5 by the end of its until the end of its activation. Wow. So yeah, very makes your stuff go much faster. Very cool stuff. Suppressor, 4 points. After an enemy ship ends its activation, if it's at distance 1 through 3, you may choose and exhaust one of its defense tokens. This could work on anybody. If you put yourself right in the middle of the battlefield and somehow manage not to die, any ship that ends its activation close to you, you're going to be able to exhaust its defense tokens. That's pretty nasty. All right. Jamming field. While a squadron at distance 1 to 2 is attacking or defending against a squadron, the attack is treated as obstructed. So this is a great way. We've got this in both flotilla packs, and this is the new fleet support. But basically, this is a great way to kind of stall the battle with squadrons. And I think this is probably good for a fleet that has less squadrons, that's trying to use them as a deterrent, rather than a squadron-heavy fleet that wants to go out there and wreck faces. So I like jamming field. I like it. Anything that supports me not having to have 133 points worth of ships just to stay relevant, or squadrons rather, just to stay relevant, I am in favor of. Slicer tools. Oh yes. After you execute a maneuver, you may exhaust this card to choose an enemy ship at distance 1 through 3. You may choose a new command on top of its command dial, on its top command dial. This is awesome. Slicer tools is letting you totally mess with people in the worst possible way, right? Like, oh, were you going to try and repair? I'm sorry, you're doing you're doing squadron now. So nasty. All right, here comes the big bad, powerful Reimer Ball best friend, Bomber Command Center. While a friendly squadron with bomber at distance 1 through 5 is attacking, it may re-roll 1 die. Considering that like TIE bombers and most ships with bomber have only 1 die, or even if you have 2, you get to re-roll half your dice. But if you have only, I mean, that's huge. This could almost double the damage that bomber builds can do. It's insane. And then we have CommsNet for only 2 points. After the reveal command dial step, you may remove 1 command token from the ship to assign the matching token to another friendly ship at distance 1 through 5. So another way to be a support ship and pass your tokens to the big guys. So almost mimicking, it's kind of what Tarkin does, especially if you're not going to field him. So this has been the Gozanti Assault Carrier unboxing for size. I'm going to put him next to a Vic, and then Big Papa ISD in the background, so you can kind of get some scale of what they look like on the battlefield. There you go. So yeah, as always, guys, if you liked the video, then please, by all means, like it, leave a comment, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. And check out all my other Wave 3 and 4 videos for Armada. Thank you guys so much. Take care.